Hello, and thank you for watching Accelerate with Nerdio. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about some of the bulk host pool actions, specifically desktop power state and availability, that can be triggered and scheduled in Nerdio Manager for MSP. As always, please visit help.nerdio.net for access to all of our content. Let's jump right in. So as we've discussed in other videos, you can always go into the Manage Hosts section, right? You'll see your individual hosts, and you can power them off or restart them, put them in drain mode individually. But what if you need to do it in bulk across all hosts and or schedule that, right? So that's where the host subsection here within the top level of the host pool comes in very handy, right? So I'm in my pool, multi-user desktop. I've clicked on the drop-down, I've gone to hosts, and I start to see some of these sub-options, right? And so specifically, this video is on power state and availability. So we're going to talk about restart, power on, power off, activate, deactivate, and delete all. So let's just look at restart as an example. You're going to see similarities in all of these. But if we go to restart, right, what are we doing? We're doing two things. One, we're confirming that we want to reboot all the VMs in the pool. And two, we'll see we get the option to try to log off users, right? We want to make sure we have that clean log off, make sure that the user's profile or any open data is closed out properly. We'll notice that we have the ability to set the process host group amount, right? So what does this mean? How many hosts are going to get this power off or this restart action done at once, right? So large numbers of concurrent operations will help you get through your host quicker, right? Like if you've got 100 hosts, you do 50 at a time, you're done in 2 sweeps. But what if something goes wrong, right? You've suddenly knocked half of your hosts out. So sometimes it's easier to do these in smaller groups, knowing that it may take a little longer, but you leave yourself less open for failure, right? And we'll see there's also the ability to set the number of failure attempts. As always, we have messaging here at the bottom in case users are still connected. But here's the key, right? We now have this scheduling feature. So maybe I want to restart all hosts nightly with a log off user trigger to try to make sure everything's closed properly so that when users come in every morning, they're logging in fresh. You can absolutely set that up, or maybe it's monthly just to make sure these VMs are healthy. It really depends on what your strategy is, right? And so we'll see that same function as we continue down. That was restart if we look at power on, right? We know it's a simple command. It's just going to power VMs on, so we could schedule that. Let's take a look at power off, very similar to power on. Again, we have the ability to set groups. We have the ability to schedule. Now let's take a look at our drain options, right? So we've got the ability to deactivate or start to place those hosts in drain mode, again, on a schedule. And then we also have the ability to go back in and activate. And take a look at that. And again, with the schedule. And then the final one we'll talk about here is the ability to delete all. Maybe you're going to wipe out all the hosts in that pool. Maybe you have auto scale in place that's then going to repopulate those hosts. It's entirely up to you. You'll notice those commands that you would generally see when deleting an individual host, right? Do I want to allow it to reuse the VM name? And do I or do I not want it to be removed from Active Directory, unjoined in this sense? And then again, scheduling. So this is a powerful tool that you can set up for any of your host pools. It's going to allow you to schedule or immediately impact all of your hosts within that pool at once. So definitely check it out and visit help.nerdio.net for access to articles that will discuss all the options within this submenu. Take care.